Can you tell me a little bit about who you are, what your background is?
So I am a qualified child and adolescent psychotherapist. I studied at the Children's Therapy Centre, and I have recently opened up my own private practice. So I work with children and teenagers. So I work with varying issues such as low self-esteem, bullying, parental loss and separation, grief and loss, suicide and self-harm, trauma, complex trauma, all of the above.
Wow.
I didn't really understand vicarious trauma until it actually was happening to me at that point in time.
And can you tell me how did you notice it? What was different about how Mindra was operating?
I wasn't sleeping. I was taking home work with me. I was dreaming about clients. I was dreaming about, oh, what if, they do something, or what if this happens and then I'm blamed, or it's all my fault, and all of this kind of stuff. Checking the work emails. I couldn't rest. I was on complete high alert. I wasn't really eating. I wasn't hungry, actually, to be honest, So everything just completely gave way. And my point to this long-winded story, Ali, is because there was no support for me, at a clinical level, from, let's say, manager who is business. That they're not clinical. They don't have the expertise or the training in clinical work. And then I suppose my supervisor was an adult supervisor. She didn't understand the complexity of child work. Do you know what I mean? So there was no support at all. I might as well have not had management or supervision in place, because there was no containment. There was absolutely no support in my work in actually supporting clients who were experiencing trauma.
That's such a scary place. And I know that research has actually found that if people work in a place that they don't feel a compassion from the top down, sense of compassion and understanding, and they don't feel supported, that they're less likely to be able to show compassion to their clients. I mean, that doesn't surprise us, does it, Mindra? If compassion is not within a workplace from the top down, you cannot do, it's not that you can for a certain amount of time, but there's going to be a cost, and you're describing what that cost was.
And I remember after the first month, I addressed at a clinical sort of meeting, which we only had two in the 3 months I was there. And I just said, really, where is the care for clients and where is the care for therapists? Because as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. I said, I have all online clients. They're all children, all under the age of 12. I mean, the issues at hand, was just astounding. You couldn't even, I was questioning, why are children with these issues presenting online, because it's really, really unsafe. It's not a safe medium to practice. And I'm feeling really overwhelmed already. And I said, I'm not even in the door a month. And I suppose the supervisor, or whatever you'd like to call her, was sort of saying, wait until you have a full caseload. And I said, well, I have about 24 clients, and she sort of had her mouth open and she didn't even realize. So, if the supervisor doesn't know that, and the therapist is really saying to you, what's going on here? Where is the care for therapists? Where is the care for clients? Because it actually doesn't exist. So I suppose I kept going, Mally, in that, and I just said, just keep it going, Mindra. Don't be sort of causing a fuss already. They're not going to like you. Just keep going, keep the head down. So obviously I was operating my private practice and that job as well. So it's quite tricky in one sense. And then I suppose it came up in my own clinical supervision. It's come up in personal therapy then. And then I took the decision then to have a word with my manager, who is business orientated, might I add again. And I just said, I'm feeling really burnt out and I actually want to reduce my working hours. I can't continue. And she sort of said, well, tough, shrugged her shoulders and basically get on with it, you know.
That you couldn't.
I couldn't.
Mindra, when you were going through, when you asked for less hours because you were going through you felt like it was too much, too many kids, too much online, too much bringing home with you, what did you need?
Well, I suppose I needed adequate supervision in there. I needed my manager to really say, from a compassionate point of view, okay, let's figure it out. Let's see what you need out of this. And let's see, can we break down the hours for you so that you don't feel overwhelmed? Because actually, you're a good therapist and I want you here. And if that means reducing our hours, then let's do it. Instead, it was really sort of like, well, tough. And here's EAP, you know.
Yeah, here's EAP. Oh, they love giving out that number. There you go. OC Health, EAP, off you go.
Yeah, and I suppose because I didn't take it, it was sort of thrown against me. Well, we did offer you this, so it's really ticking the boxes. It's really covering their own backs. We did actually offer it to you. You didn't avail of it. I said I didn't avail of it purely because I'm in my own therapy already, so I'm not going to go to a random therapist and go through everything again. Do you know what I mean? So it didn't really make sense for me to go to the EAP just because it suited them and that they couldn't actually facilitate and support my needs as a therapist in this organization. And I just felt my body was battered and bruised with the stress that it was under. I just and I remember my best friend at the time said, can your body actually do it all over again? And that was the best question I was ever asked, even, and she's not a therapist, do you know what I mean? And that actually resonated with me, and I said, well, my body can't go through it.
Tell me why it resonated with you. How can your body do this again? What did it make you think or feel?
Well, it made me feel that really, Mindra, you're going to go back into that workload again, where you're working with really complex trauma again. Are you going to be supported? And you have to trust and honor your body that you can't do this to yourself. Do you really want to go back to that place of not sleeping, not eating, not meeting your friends, not wanting to do any activities? No, because I don't know if that's going to happen again. Probably would, do you know? I don't know that. That's only just speculation, do you know? But no, my body, I had to listen to my body at this point in time, which is something I wasn't doing up until now, really.
I think any work situation, like whatever that is, and particularly, I suppose I'm most concerned about it for therapists, but also for the general population, is that we're doing really hard work and we're holding a lot for children and parents. And we're doing probably the hardest work, which is kind of, children come in with lots of difficulties and you spot things and you feel things and you carry things. But the need for support and for understanding and compassion is massive. And what you needed was like a practical change to your work environment, and also to be heard and to be listened to. Like, sometimes just being yourself is the radical act. When you occupy space in systems that weren't built for you, your authenticity is your activism.
Absolutely.
And I believe that from you.
Your authenticity is your activism, because my level of authenticity in terms of being true to myself, that I don't need this organization. I know what way I works. I do have a strong value belief system, and go out on your own and take a leap of faith and things will happen. And I suppose at that time, in that midst of total despair, to be honest, I was listening to a really good podcast, and it's called The Universe Has Your Back.
Really?
I don't know if you've...
No.
Oh, she's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And she actually helped get me through in terms of listen to the universe. Listen and trust the universe. The universe will have your back.